Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of On Deck here on FTSN. I'm Russ Morgan. Hope everybody's having a great night. I know so far so good. I am second and third ranked Yankees playing the Red Sox first series of the season. Yankees up 3-0 against the Red Sox, but first and second 1 out. So hopefully get out of this. I do want to start before we get into the main title. Definitely talk about the Mets. 12-game losing streak. Max Fried gets a strikeout, 2 outs, second and third. I do want to talk a little bit about how baseball lost one of its greats this past weekend, losing Garrett Anderson, former Angels Hall of Famer. Played 17 seasons with the Los Angeles Angels. Definitely one of the most consistent run producers. I think they lost. He passed away at 53, and diagnosis was acute neuritis pancreatitis. Passed away at 53, pretty young. Definitely one of the most steady contact, durable hitters in that era. Beautiful, unbelievable left-handed swing. Garrett Anderson, member of the Angels, Los Angeles, honored the Los Angeles Angels Hall of Fame. He was a key part of that 2002 World Series championship. Longtime cornerstone outfielder from 1994 to 2009. One of the most productive hitters in franchise history for the Angels in hits, RBIs, and durability. Hall of Famers at national level. I don't know if he'll get in. He was a very important player to that, but not typically in the category of getting in. I don't know. I think it would be great. 2,529 hits, 287 RBI, home runs, 1,365 RBIs, 293 average. So pretty impressive for a guy who almost batted over 300 for his whole career. 1,104, 500 plus doubles, 522, 34 triples, 90 stolen bases, multiple seasons with 100 RBIs, consistent 300 hitter, key middle order of the bat. I really want to speak on this. I was lucky when I first started my coaching career, and I got to coach at Orange Lutheran High School in Orange, California, and was lucky enough to meet Garrett Anderson and coach his youngest son. Played on the Orange Lutheran team that I got to coach, so I got to meet Garrett Anderson a few times, and just a really great guy, not your typical ball player who cared about his playing days. I am a diehard Yankees fan. The first time I talked to him, I said, "You ruined a 10-year-old's day at Angel Stadium," because I was at Game 3 that shifted that whole wild card series for the Angels. I was in the stadium, 6 rows above the visitors' dugout, which would have been the Yankees at the time. And I was there, and that's when the rally monkey came along, and he kind of laughed and joked about it. But I got to, because I got to coach his son, I got to talk to him and hang out with him a few times. And a really great guy, not your typical ball player, just really down-to-earth guy. I remember, him saying, I don't want to get back into baseball. I did my time. I don't want to coach. I just want to be a dad. I was really impressed with the way he was a father. He stressed with his son, was taken off the team multiple times because his grades weren't at the level that he expected. For a guy who played, stressed academics before athletics was very impressive. But Garrett Anderson passed away at 53, very young, of pancreatitis disease. I hope my thoughts and prayers go to his family, knowing that getting to coach one of his sons. I'm sure I can't fathom losing a father, especially one who's in his almost his mid-50s. So my thoughts and prayers go to his family. But I mean, I remember Garrett Anderson from watching him and being obviously in the Los Angeles area and going to a lot of Angel games as a kid, watching him play. Uh, Beautiful left-handed swing, contact, just the type of player that we need to see more nowadays that we don't see. Is definitely not your typical analytical guy that probably wouldn't, you know, nowadays you probably wouldn't see him uh, in the starting lineup or on an MLB roster because he's not your typical analytical guy. He was a contact hitter, but man, what a beautiful left-handed swing! What a beautiful left-handed swing! But rest in peace, and thoughts and prayers go to his family. It was. I was lucky enough to coach his son, and lucky enough to watch a couple of baseball games with him and talk baseball and talk sports in general, not just baseball. I remember talking basketball about him, talking about Charles Barkley, and talking. This was when I was coaching when the Warriors were winning a lot. So it's definitely hit home a little bit. My first year of coaching, that it was pretty cool. But thoughts and prayers to his family. But obviously, getting into baseball after that topic, Mets right now an 11-game losing streak, or 12 games, losing streak. And a lot of it's kind of I'm laughing my ass off when I see this because the mayor, I think, visited the Mets, and there's a lot of I just find it funny. Not for there are a lot of political reasons, but I find it funny that he visits the Mets right after he visits the Mets. They're on a 12-game losing streak. They've only scored 22 runs in this 12-game spread. Multiple games with 2 or 4 fewer runs. Very few home runs and very poor clutch hitting. Not scoring enough to win even a close game. Occasionally getting the runner on base, doing nothing. Strikeouts with runners in scoring positions, weak groundouts, and missing chances early, forcing into chase games. Some of the stats you see during this, from your team captain, from some of these players, you got Francisco Lindor batting 190 during this losing streak. Limited power production. He's only got 1 home run on the year. He's not really clutch hitting. Bo Bichette, 230, occasional extra base hit, but averaging 2 runs per game or less in this losing streak. Multiple games not scoring 2 or less runs. Starting pitching has been decent early in games, but has collapsed late. Minus Nolan McLean has looked dominant. Has had scoreless endings, 10 Ks through 5, but the bullpen blew leads. Bullpen's blown multiple leads. Not a lot of extra base hits, very few home runs, but not a lot of extra base hits. A lot of singles that don't turn into runs. Slugging percentage is cratered. The bats have gone quiet. When the 3-4 hitter doesn't get much going on, the whole lineup usually collapses. The absence of Juan Soto has made it worse. Should be coming back here shortly. Because he does get on base consistently, forces pitchers to adjust. He creates scoring opportunities with his great eye. Without him in the lineup's got no anchor, especially if Francisco Lindor is not doing much. And in my opinion, having Bo Bichette play out of, not playing the second, not playing it short, which is natural position, but I think he also showed in the World Series could be a serviceable enough second baseman to play second base. I think that's kind of affecting Bo Bichette's offense. That leaks into the offense, in my opinion. I mean, you've seen not all MLB hitters, even great hitters, have the mental capacity to be just a designated hitter, and you've seen players who are DHs get in the field and their offensive stats start picking up because they're playing every day. Not everybody can be a DH. I think third base is kind of leaking into his offense. I mean, 230. This guy's 270 hitter, 280 hitter. It's not just the starters are getting shelled, but there's no stability. Some outings are decent, couple 4 or 5 innings, couple runs. Others have unraveled. Few pitchers have gone 6 to 7 innings plus. Leads blown in the 7th, 9th inning. We saw that yesterday against the Twins. They blew that lead, losing 4-3. They check what the Mets are doing if they've started tonight. AD Adrian, how's it going, man? Just talking about this Mets collapse. Mets up 1-0, but that doesn't really say much after what we've seen with the Mets. They're up 1-0 against the Twins right now, but I mean they were up yesterday and they lost it. Big blow. The bullpens looked weak, blowing a lot of games. Thanks for tuning in, Adrian. I appreciate it, man. In the 7th and 9th inning, tie game slipping away, extra inning losses. The bullpen isn't just bad; they're failing in high leverage moments. And it doesn't help. They're not getting long. You're getting extended time from your starters because your bullpen's taxed. I mean, the overuse of the bullpen because the starters aren't going deep in the game. I think Freddie Peralta's having a down year. Senga, let's see what he's doing. Right now they're at the bottom of that. I mean, Freddie Peralta 1-1, 4.05 ERA. David Peterson with 5.4 ERA. Clay Holmes looked okay. Senga with an 8.83 ERA. Nolan McLean's the only guy really doing much who's 1-1 on the year. But I think, Peralta, after that big haul that they gave away to the Brewers, has definitely come down. The relievers are being overused. Relievers are pitching almost every game. Key arms are getting used back to back, so fatigue has set in on that for them. I mean, big picture during this losing streak, low batting average, weak power outfit. They've been very poor in runners in scoring position, hitting. Starters' performance been a mixed bag. Bullpen's a major weakness. Yeah, I mean, you're seeing it's probably something they're going to have to identify. That could be fixed when Juan Soto comes back because he will be a definite bump to that lineup. But I mean, offensively that could be fixed with them. But I mean, the bullpen has been a major weakness and defense in late innings, which is why Bo Bichette is. I mean, we're seeing not a great third baseman. He wasn't a great shortstop. I mean, simply summing it up, this streak hasn't been one issue. It's been cold bats, especially top hitters, late inning collapses, and an inability to finish games. I think. I mean, going in for me with the Mets is even though you add Peralta, I always thought they were thin pitching wise. I mean, you have Nolan McLean, you have Freddie Peralta, but I thought they were always thin from the 3-5, from the number 3 to 5 spot. Jonah Tong's still in AAA. So I mean, I've always thought that those are two spots they're going to have to identify and see how Bo Bichette plays third base. Jorge Polanco hasn't done much either. It was another guy they added. Bichette's 219, Lindor 209 on the year, Simeon 225, Luis Roberts 243, Jorge Polanco 179 after a really big, huge year in Seattle last year. Carson Bench 136, Brett Beatty 209. So, I mean, I think they're going to have to figure some things out. Also, next thing I want to talk about, we got some big high leverage teams that you would think would be in World Series conversation, especially this first game going to talk about, and I know I actually talk about, and we do have one guy who is a fan of this team. Oh, sorry, I got a little more. I thought I got the Phillies. All right. We got one guy on the network who's a fan of this team. Is the Phillies right now? Phillies struggling big time. Rely heavily on their core hitting right now. The Phillies 8-15, 7.5 back. They rely heavily on their hitting with Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber. When they're struggling, the bottom line, the offense isn't enough to get it done. I don't know what happened to all my notes, but I had all my notes for the Phillies. I don't know what happened to it. That's frustrates me. Maybe I forgot to put in that makes me mad. I hate when that happens. But right now, 8-15. Guess I'm just gonna have to go on my own brain. I mean, you're not getting much. 234 Trey Turner, Bryce Harper 274, Kyle Schwarber a lowly 214, and 8 home runs. Garcia 210, Alex Baum 128, who's been a constant guy who's in that trade market. And Bryson Stott 242. Pitching wise is where they get it. They're gonna hopefully coming in soon. They'll get Zach Wheeler back. Christopher Sanchez 2-2. He's got a 1.59 ERA. Jesus Luzardo 1-1, but he's got a 5.9 ERA. Aaron Nola, who I was expecting him to have a big bounce back year after what we saw in the World Baseball Classic. He's 1-2 on the year, but he's got a 5.06 ERA. Taijuan Walker with the 9.16 ERA. Andrew Painter 4.42 ERA, and he's 1 on the year. So I mean, it's surprising for the Phillies because the Phillies their window for a World Series for the Phillies is slowly getting smaller and smaller, and they've got to capitalize on what they have on their talent. Yankees up 4-0 now. That these players are starting to get older and older. You've got to capitalize on Harper and Turner. The other team really, who for a long time, who's really right now struggling is Houston Astros. Houston Astros right now 10-16. For a long time, Houston Astros was about being elite contact and clutch hitting, but lately, few timely hitting with runners in scoring position, more strikeouts than usual, not stringing hits together for rallies as often. They still have the talent to do it. You still have Yordan Alvarez right now who leads the MLB in home runs. He just got his 11th today, and he's batting 347. I wonder what they're going to do with them if he still has 2 years remaining on his deal. What are the Astros going to do with Yordan Alvarez if they're not in the hunt for October? Are they going to try to flip him for some prospects? Because there's going to be definitely a lot of teams calling for Yordan Alvarez, who's got some serious pop and bat 347, 11 home runs, 26 RBIs, a 466 on base percentage. But they still have the talent, but the lineup hasn't felt inevitable in late games. It's been a big shift from the classic Astros teams. Late innings feel less secure. Few blown leads, messy finishes, not as many consistent 1-2-3 innings. I think the Astros also aren't as strong pitching wise. You have Hunter Brown, who's not even pitching right now. I mean, let me see what their depth is. Starting pitcher, Hunter Brown on the 15-day DL, Tetsu Imai on the 15-day AL. You got right now it's Mike Burrows and Lance McCullers, the only two guys who are on the starting depth chart for pitchers. Starting pitchers have been uneven. Some strong outings mixed with shorter starts. Pitch counts consistently rising early, not always getting deep in the games. Bottom of the line, Astros have been struggling. Offense isn't clutch. Core players aren't carrying every night. Bullpen's not been automatic, and they can't execute no execution during the close games. Move into a couple teams right now. I mean, there's a handful of teams that have been really hot, some good win streaks, but the first team I want to talk about is Chicago Cubs. And during this 7-game win streak, they've had strong starting pitching. Cubs starters have been going deep into games. Example, Imanaga recently threw 7 innings of 1-run ball in a win over the Phillies. Few bullpen fire drills in late games. They did just lose. Their closer, Palencia, just did go down. Was on the 15-day. But, I mean, that's been the biggest difference maker in their games. They've had clutch, timely hitting, not just power. They're not just hitting home runs. They're scoring with runners in scoring position. They're getting timely singles and doubles. They're extended innings with walks and contact. Michael Busch the other day against Philadelphia had a key 2-run single in the tight Philly game in a key situation. They have balanced offensive surge. Multiple players are contributing. Suzuki, Nico Horner, Michael Busch. They're not just relying on that one hot bat. I mean, Nico Horner's batting .326 right now. Not relying on that hot bat. Power plus contact is showing up. Balanced hits, and they can stack wins. And the other thing, you're beating for the Cubs. Yes, they're beating up on some struggling teams, but you're beating. Those are the teams you're supposed to win. You're capitalizing on poor pitching and stable and shaky bullpens, beating the Mets and Phillies. Good teams take advantage, and the Cubs are doing that right now. Big picture, the streak isn't just luck. Solid starting pitching, improved situational hitting, and taking advantage of opponents' mistakes. This is how you build 5-10 runs. Another team, we're sticking in the NL Central. The NL Central is very exciting right now. Is the Cincinnati Reds. Right now, Cubs 14-9, Reds 16-9. And besides the great players the Reds have on that roster, there's why I love the Reds is they got a veteran manager. Love Terry Francona. Love me some Tito. From the University of Arizona, so bear down. I'm going to be Yankees up. Quickly get I don't love that, but it's okay. Quick right here, Yankees 4-0, bottom of the 4th. But they've had a power surge of late. The Reds have. Lineup has suddenly exploded. Multiple home run games, including a 5-home-run outburst versus the Rays. Big nights from the young core like Elly De La Cruz. Run production is way up compared to earlier in April. When they score early, and they've been burying teams. Star players, Elly De La Cruz, he's been carrying the team with power and speed, and he's always going to do. Rookie bats like Sal Stewart has been adding surprise production. On the, Sal Stewart, 297, Elly De La Cruz, 8 home runs, De La Cruz, 265, and you're not getting it much from, from your big pickup. 231 from Suarez is probably where he's going to be at, but you're not getting 8 home run from Suarez, 3 home runs on the year. You're expecting that he's probably going to stay in that 230 range, but you're expecting big power numbers. But, I mean, Sal Stewart's definitely adding a surprise production. Middle lineup is contributing, not just the top hitters. This is a big change from earlier and from last year we're seeing. And they're doing this all without their all-star Hunter Green, who's not. Let me see what Hunter went. I don't know his timeline, but I mean you're getting solid starters starting pitching too. Starters have been getting quality starts left and right. Bullpen's been staple. One key trend: fewer late game collapses. From the starters, Rhett Lauder 1-0. He's got a 3.10 ERA. Guy I loved coming out of college from Wake Forest. I saw him go toe to toe with Paul Skeens in the College World Series. Guy I love. You got Chase Burns, who got drafted second overall. He's 2-1 with a 2.57 ERA. Andrew Abbott. Brett Williamson 2-2. Not much from Brady Singer, who's 5.32. But from those two guys, from you're getting it from young guys. You're getting it from Chase Burns and Rhett Lauder, two young guys. Not dominant pitching, but enough to hold leads. They've won the blowout games, offensive explosion. They're winning the tight games. They're coming from behind. Big picture, they've stopped stranding runners. They started hitting home runs again, and they're getting more consistent production. It's a young, exciting team. The offense finally woke up. Ellie De La Cruz is in form. Pitching has been steady to hold leads. They've also won 11 of 12 games during this run. They're getting series sweeps, so it's not just luck. The other one is who's right now is the Padres, who just made a move today and signed Luis Giolito. They're the Padres right now on a 4-game win streak. 3, excuse me. So not a massive win streak, but they're playing good baseball. Starters consistently giving you 5 to 7 innings. They're keeping the games low scoring and manageable. Example, Walker Buehler giving a quality start during this run. You've got a clutch base, a balanced offense from Tatis to Machado doing their thing. Let me go to see what they're 16-7 right now, 9-4 at home, 7-3 on the road. 265 from Bogarts. You're not getting much from Jackson Merrill's 213, which I think he figures it out. 265 for Tatis. Laureano, 259. And Miguel Andujar, who's a great batter, a guy I would have liked back on the Yankees. He's batting 310, and he's in 310 and 52 ABs, but this guy gives you much. Furman, 333 in limited at bats. He's only got 36. But they're getting timely hitting instead of just home runs, and they're rally late in the game. They're not just scoring. And the bullpen, Mason Miller, late inning anchor by elite relief work. Key arms, Mason Miller stacking up scoreless innings left and right. Let's see what Mason Miller is at right now. Mason Miller's pitched in 11 games, 11 1/3 innings pitched, and hasn't given up a run yet. So you've got the best closer in baseball, multiple clean 8 and 9 innings. And you've got probably one of the better setup mans in baseball too. And Moran, I can't say his last. Adrian Morejo. So you've got an elite bullpen. That's what's turned these close games into win. Big picture for the Padres, they're not one-dimensional. Pitching, hitting, they're both getting work done. They're winning close games. They're winning close games. They're getting it done. At a peak, they won eight straight in a row. It's not one-dimensional team. They're winning close games. The bullpen's consistently holding leads. Bottom line is they've got a strong pitching foundation and clutch hitting. Going around the league, I will say, I always get it from my former co-host who likes the Red Sox for some reason. I don't know why. Dolphins thirsty always gives it to me about the Yankees, but I will say, I will throw it a little back to your about Yankees fans, your classic Red Sox fans who are very classy people, I guess, giving death threats to my man Cam Schlittler because he's from Massachusetts pitching the Yankees, and him and his family can get death threats. You're classy Red Sox fans you got there. I hope Rob's in the comments. I hope Dolphins Thirsty's in there because I'm sure he'll say, "Oh, but classy, always giving me shit on the Yankees fans. We're entitled. Yeah, we won a lot. Suck it." But I mean, your Red Sox fans are trash too. Yankees are going around the league. Right now, Yankees up 4-0 against in the top of the fifth. Another beautiful Aaron Boone decision with benching Ben Rice, who is batting .319 and probably the best hitter on the team because we got a lefty matchup. Stop doing the lefty-righty matchup. This guy's the best hitter on the freaking team. Give me Ben Rice every day. When it's in October, when it's a bust-win situation, you're not going to bench Ben Rice for Paul Goldschmidt, who's, yes, probably a Hall of Famer in his own right, but he's a shell. He's not the player he once was. 4-0. Game 2. Tomorrow's Yankees-Red Sox game will be Cam Schlittler versus Brian Bello. But up 4-0 today. Did have a big walk. Nice hit from Giancarlo Stanton. Rosario, a 3-run home run, and then Rosario hit a sac fly and scored Judge. Judge 1 for 1. Stanton 2 for 2. He loves hitting at Fenway. And Max Fried, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. I'm also, my Yankees fans jump in. Can we get Jason Dominguez to come up finally? The guy's raking in AAA. Yeah, okay. I don't know, who's your team? Thanks for tuning in. I get it all the time. Starting to look hot, looking 4 games in a row. I don't know who your team is, but I'm guessing you're a Red Sox fan. But thank you for tuning in. You're fine. All right. But right now, going around, Brewers down 2-1 to the Tigers. Braves, who are hot right now, 8-4 against the Nationals. Braves right now 16-8. Mets up 1-0 against the Twins. Phillies down 1-0 against the Cubs. Marlins won 4-1 against the Cardinals. Rays won 6-1 against the Reds. Astros won 2-0 today. Orioles won 8-6. Angels beat the Blue Jays 7-3. And Mariners won 5-4. So we got Yankees 4-0, man on first. Judge just walked. And Bellinger up with 1 out. Ball 1. Yankees have been looking better of late, finally. 6-4, won 4 games in a row. Also starting to pick it up is Aaron Judge, who's now batting 235, Stanton 253, Bellinger 278. We're starting to see less and less of Trent Grisham, who's 167. They can bring up Jason Dominguez. Two outs, man on third. Stanton coming up. Looks like they're going to pull Ranger Suarez. I do want to see Dominguez, what he's doing so far in the minor league level. AAA, what is it? Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Multiple 2-3 games hits. Has already hit multiple home runs in AAA. One standout game, 3 hits, including 2 doubles plus a home run in Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Overall, showing impact bats returning. Hitting's looked more comfortable both from the left and right-handed side. Power still developing, but showing real home run pop. Still a major weapon, stealing bases, improving consistently. Where he's going to have to prove is his outfield defense, which is the reason they sent him down. Yankees also sent him down because they had a crowded MLB outfield. Still high upside outfielder. I still think he should be up in June if he's contributing like this level. So there is that. I think if he's contributing at the way he's hitting, I think he will definitely be up sometime with the struggle of Trent Grisham for the Yankees. But I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight for another episode On Deck here on FTSN. I'm Russ Morgan. Have a good night.